a contrast between common sense and crazy in the midterm. And now it's common sense versus communism.
Nearly 70% of Americans disapprove of his handling of inflation and the cost of living crisis. Well, November is right around the corner.
It certainly is. About 104 days. Yesterday, we released our power rankings. Today, we're going to have another look at it and refresh you as to how we see this stacking up right now between the House and Senate. First, on the House side, we got about 16 toss-ups here, all right? The forecast is for a Democratic lead.
Trump has made Republicans deeply unpopular. Just ask Fox News.
You look at our polls, and you look at the condition of the economy, and this is the one for midterms we look at closely, and that is excellent or good, 24%, only fair or poor, 76%. And that has got to have Republicans, Senate and House, concerned.
Oh, absolutely, Brett. And the truth is there's not much good news for Republicans in this whole poll we did. You know, underwater on the economy, as you showed, underwater on affordability. Those two issues are front and center for sure. Republicans have a little bit of a lead on national security and, I guess, law enforcement. But everywhere you look, Republicans are down. Now, there is some bit of good news. As you mentioned, the redistricting will help them with seats in the House, and they will probably need every one of them they can get from that.
This new Fox poll is even something Jesse Waters can't spin, because Democrats come out on top on pretty much every issue that voters care about. The economy. As they say, it's about the economy, stupid. Well, leading up to the midterms, a crucial midterms for Trump and whether or not he's going to be able to continue his lawless spree, turns out that voters think that Democrats are better with the economy, better with inflation, better with income inequality, better with healthcare, even better with foreign policy. I mean, I remember the day that Republican Party seemed to have the mantle on foreign policy. But Trump's war has been so disastrous and so unpopular that Democrats even win on foreign policy. I mean, the unfavorability rating for Trump's Iran war is so high that it took the war in Afghanistan 12 years to reach this low unfavorability rating that Trump has managed to do with the Iran war in just about 3 months.
This war has been it's been taxing on everyone, and I'm on a fixed income, and so it's other ones that on fixed income I'm really feeling it.
You could talk directly to the president. We know he likes to watch TV. What would you tell him about this war?
President Trump, you shouldn't have got us in this war and was going to end it fast, soon, and now you're starting all over again.
Has the war helped your life at all?
No. For one thing, it causes me angst, makes me angry. And as I said, I'm very disillusioned. My entire family is disillusioned. And we are and were Trump supporters, but this is, to me, he's drawn a line in the sand. And that's how I feel. That's how we all feel.
The other thing Trump has managed to do, according to Fox News' own poll, is basically convince Republicans not to vote. Because according to that poll, Democrats are much more motivated to vote come November than Republicans by a margin of 68 to 57%. Now, this is huge. As any campaign, get out the vote. I mean, I'm sure all of you have already seen so many get out the votes, texts or emails or posts, video posts about it, because it is so crucial not only to convince people that your policy is right and to vote for you, but then to get the people out the door to vote. I have done canvassing for candidates, and I can't tell you the people who had no idea what day the election was. Those of us super entrenched in elections find that kind of shocking, but it's not. So to have a difference from 68 to 57% of motivated voters is massive, because that Republican candidate not only has to convince more people to vote for him or her, but to convince more people to even vote at all. Interestingly, that poll even dug a little deeper and found that MAGA Republicans were also much more motivated to vote than non-MAGA Republicans. That split was 68% to 41%. The reason why that's really bad for Republicans come November is the MAGA Republican coalition has really shrunk. I mean, just ask Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, and a slew of other people how they feel about being MAGA Republican. Many people no longer identify as a MAGA Republican. They may not have been willing to leave the party altogether, but they're no longer MAGA. So not only has Trump convinced Republicans at large that maybe it doesn't really matter if they vote, but he's particularly convinced MAGA Republicans. And the reason why that's really bad is because MAGA Republicans have won their primaries again and again. They're Republican primaries. It's not that hard for the leader of their party to basically endorse a candidate and then win it. But those Republican, primary winners now have to face somebody outside, a Democrat. And so you have less motivated people. I mean, you have a shrinking Republican Party. And so you're going to have all these non-MAGAs not show up and vote at all for this Republican nominee because they are MAGA and they no longer are motivated to vote. At the end of the day, the fact is Trump and his severe unpopularity has really helped the Democrats come November, which is essential because we see in real time Trump trying to interfere, sow chaos. I mean, the other reason why Republicans probably aren't that motivated to vote is because they've been told over and over by the leader of their party that the vote is rigged and the votes are stolen and we can't, safeguard the vote. Why on earth would somebody take time out of their day to go do something that just being told it doesn't matter because the results are rigged anyway? Definitely not the kind of get out the vote message that his Republican candidates need.
I feel like I'm in bizarro world, okay? Because the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and hope for a different result. And that is just simply put not been the case with President Trump in terms of the train has left the station and the American people have spoken. They hate these new tariffs. U.S. on new tariffs on imported goods. You go back to November of 2024. Look, 52% of Americans favor him right after Donald Trump's election, 48% opposed. But then we entered the real world in tariffs and Americans saw the effects of them. What happened to the opposition to new tariffs? Up like a rocket. We're talking 63% of Americans now oppose the idea of new tariffs compared to just 37% who favor it. So the bottom line is this. The American people have seen what tariffs have done to the economy and they simply put do not like it and have turned against the President of the United States, who, as I said, it feels like bizarre world because from a political standpoint, it is absolutely insanity that keeps trying to do something that the American people clearly very much do not like.
Bizarre world also because there is a red sun, but that's another.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
All right.
Superman.
And the president's approval rating, how has it been? Or how has it sort of mirrored the tariff situation?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, the tariffs were what set Donald Trump off on a pathway to nowhere, on a pathway to a presidency that is a dead end. Take a look at this. Trump's negative net approval rating. Every single poll since March 29, 2025, that is over a year ago, in fact, days in a row, it's 482 days in which every single poll that meets CNN standards for publication, Donald Trump has had a negative net approval rating. Well, what happened right around March 29, 2025? All polls just before Liberation Day 2025. It was the tariffs. It was the massive implication of those tariffs, the implementation of it, that, of course, many of them got overturned, that turned the American people once and for all against Donald Trump in his second term as president.
Went underwater just around Liberation Day, been underwater every day since. All right, how does the rest of the world feel about this?
Yeah, okay. So the rest of the world doesn't like it either. I mean, that's not much of a surprise, right? But still, it's notable, right? Net approval rating Trump on tariffs. Brazil, 51 points underwater. Canada, 65 points underwater. Mexico, 73 points underwater. Trump has been underwater so long on tariffs, both here and abroad, that the bottom line is this. It's almost like he is the Little Mermaid. He just doesn't even come up for air anymore.
And this could have a political impact. in the other direction than the president wants in some of these countries.
Exactly right. Take a look at Brazil. 51 points underwater there. Well, there's a presidential election going on there. Top chances to win the Brazilian presidential election. Lula, who President Trump does not like, he has now a 63% chance, while, in fact, Bolsonaro, who Trump very much likes, an ally, 25% chance. Donald Trump is killing his allies with these tariffs.
Harold Denton, thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnny.
We have a lot of news this morning. We'll be right back.
Breaking news right now. My brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.